Good evening, everybody. May I request you all, if you're comfortable, to turn on your video so I can see your beautiful faces and we can have a much better interaction. If any of you all are comfortable, I'd really appreciate that. Can you hear me well? Madhuji, you're able to hear me well?
Yes, Rita ji, we can hear
Wonderful.
you.
Wonderful. All right. The topic I'd like to discuss with you all this evening is the 5 languages of apology. Last week, I had a wonderful talk with all of you where we discussed about being hurt and the many remedies we can do to improve ourselves, our thought process, and protect ourselves from being further hurt. On the same lines, we're moving into another topic altogether, which is known as the languages of apology. Do we really know to apologize? Do we? I'd like to hear from any of you. Jeevanji? Anna? Do we really know to apologize? I think from childhood, we have been taught by our parents and teachers to say sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It's wonderful to say, I'm sorry. But do you think when we are hurt or someone has really, really wounded us, do you think when the opposite person says, I'm sorry, does it really make you feel really good and all is well and you are back to square one? Do you think so?
Not really.
Not really. The truth is we are not really, ma'am. That's truth. That's the truth of life. So I'm sorry doesn't really make a world of a difference as much as we may have thought of before. So I'd like to, share with all of you the idea of the languages of apology, where we know what's happening and we are able to assist ourselves and guide the other person who has been the reason for the hurt. So the first of the whole 5 languages is expressing regret. It's very deep, and you have a very wonderful way to start by saying is, I'm sorry that. I'm sorry that I joined the meditation late. I'm sorry I lost my temper and spoke in a very unpleasant manner. When you say, I'm sorry that is a deep acceptance is you have messed up and you are being brave enough to apologize and explain to the opposite person that, yes, I have made a mistake. So the first point I'd like to share with you is express regret. I am sorry that. The second point is accepting responsibility. I was wrong. I shouldn't have joined, or I shouldn't have spoken so rudely to you. I was wrong. We all have our own pride, our own ego. And it takes a lot of effort and courage to just be open and say, yes, I accept responsibility. I raised my voice. I spoke out of tone and I was very rude to you. The third language is making restitution. I know I have hurt you. So first you say is accept it. I know I have hurt you. What can I do to make it up to you. Now, say you had a small quarrel with your spouse, and you sing and you spoke in a very rude tone, or maybe you were very curt, very sarcastic. I know I've hurt you. I know I raised my voice. What can I do to make it up to you? So what happens is you are involving the other person. You seek the other person's answer, response to make amends and make things how they used to be beforehand. It also is giving an opportunity to the other person to think and say, okay, Baba, Rita is wanting to make the change and the necessary action she's willing to take. What do I need to ask from her so that I accept her apology and also there is a change? So the third is making restitution. The fourth language is genuinely repenting. I'm sorry, as ma'am, as Venki ma'am has said, I'm sorry, it doesn't really work. Genuinely repenting is, I want to change my behavior. Can we think of ways that will help me stop doing this? So again, we are involving the other person and asking the person's comments and ideas, and also being brave enough to seek support. I know sometimes when I'm angry, I speak rubbish, out of tone, I'm disrespectful, I'm unpleasant. So I want to change it. And the moment we say we means me and the opposite person. So we are both joining ourselves in partnership to make things better. And also, I am happy to seek assistance from the other person to who I have been rude and I've hurt the person. So I'd like to repeat that again. I want to change my behavior. What can I do to make it up to you? Now, if it is my spouse, maybe my spouse will say, maybe you drink some water, go into the restroom, wash your face, calm down, and come back. I'm just saying as an example. I mean, each person is different. But when we seek assistance, we are opening ourselves for another person to also help us through. And the last point of the language of the fifth language of apology is requesting forgiveness. I value our relationship. I value our friendship. I value the love bond that we've had for the past 12 years since our college days. I hope you can forgive me and give me another chance to become a better, brighter person. It's all about letting the opposite person know that we regret for what has happened and we are seeking assistance to make things better for the person to whom we have hurt, and also we who have hurted them. It may be on purpose or it may be not on purpose. Most of the times when we are really upset, we are really angry, the intelligence goes into the drain. And we can talk something very rude, very embarrassing, or something which is really not required. And when we openly declare our weaknesses to our spouse, partner, friend, we are happy to hear them out and listen to what is their idea as well. So as rightly Venki ma'am said, sometimes people say, I'm sorry, and we're not happy with the I'm sorry. Why? Why do you think so, Venki ma'am? Say
Because
I
it has to come from your heart.
say again. Please repeat, ma'am.
It has to come from your heart, really.
Yes, that's what the 4 point is, genuinely repenting. And subconsciously, we all know when we say, I'm really sorry, Venki ma'am, I'm like, I'm sorry, Venki ma'am. During our college days, when we were late to attend our lecture, when we stood at the entrance of the class and said, ma'am, good morning, ma'am, may I please come in? And the say the teacher was very kind enough to say, please come in. Why are you late? Ma'am, I'm sorry. You know your sorry is not genuine, and definitely the teacher as well knows. We're all spiritual beings and scientists in our own brains and minds and spirits, so we know. And as much as we may want to fool ourselves and the world, it's not possible. And it's better to be honest and bear our thoughts and emotions and seek support, because at the end of the day, we want relationships to get better, and for them to become better, the honesty we come with really is appreciated. And also, we are giving another chance to ourselves to change for the better. I'd like to hear from all of you. Thank you, Anna. I can see you today. Yeah. Madhu, ma'am, I'd like to say something.
Yeah. Firstly, thank you so much, Rita ji. It is wonderful that you have brought this subject of apology. What you have said is very true. I can see myself when I got married to Ram.
Uh-huh.
There were many a times that that my apology was like just for namesake. You know.
Uh-huh.
But he was very patient, and he wanted. He don't want to explain to me like, okay, this is how you have to deal, or this is what you have done something, so I'm not happy with it. His silence was speaking a lot, actually. So in that way, I could able to realize my mistakes at that time, and then I could really genuinely go to him and say that I'm really sorry for what I have
Yes.
done. And there I have taken a responsibility for my own self, that okay, like it's not that we are apologizing, just for namesake. It has to be, as Malti ji was telling, it has to come from heart, like we
Yes.
have to feel it. Then only we are all energy beings. Like whatever the words you utter, the actions you do, it is reflecting to the another person. If you see babies, if the mother is sad, the babies, they know it. How do they know it? It's because we are energetically connected. If we are conveying it, that sorry just for the namesake, it will not touch them. If
Mm.
we say it from the heart, with complete feeling, then it will surely touch their hearts, and they will really apologize. And there is the chance for us to not repeat it again. So this happened in my case, and yeah, there's a lot of learning. It is Apology is very very important, very important. Rita ji, my dad, when he was not well, and 3 months I was in India with him, and he left his physical body on March
Uh-huh.
12th. And
Oh, that's good.
so I was like sitting with him in the nights, and then I was telling to my dad that knowingly or unknowingly you have done something wrong to others, please apologize. Like it is
Mm.
very important to apologize and ask for forgiveness, so that we feel light. When we ask for apology, we feel light, we don't feel burdened.
Yeah.
um you know Previously my father was not in a state, when he was healthy and all these, like he was not in a state to take these things. But when he was really going through a lot of things in his physical body, that is where he calmed down himself, and then he started to listen, and then he asked for forgiveness. And I
Mm-hmm.
could see the lightness that he was carrying, like immediately the burden that he was carrying from very long, it has been lightened. So it is very important that we apologize genuinely, very genuinely. And
That's true.
and we have to request, please, knowingly or unknowingly, we have done something wrong, please forgive,
Yeah,
so it's very important. So thank
yeah,
you for bringing this subject, Rita ji.
yeah. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Also, it is important, I would say, is how, when you ask this simple question, how can I make it up to you?
Mhm.
Such a deep question, because each person takes time to process and how they want to overcome it.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I look back, I think in my earlier years, and I used to lose my temper at any given point of time. Voice would raise and decibels, blah, 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 out of control. And now when I look back, it's so different. But also, it matters is those who are close to you and those who really know you know the intent is very good. Some people, they can be very rude, but the heart and the intent is super clean. So therefore, I have observed, like in those situations, they accept the apology more easily. And yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's, I would say, it's all about learning and getting better with every passing day, and we are all slowly and steadily becoming more aware of ourselves. And the more awareness we bring to ourselves, we know how to calm ourselves down, how to not be rude or disrespectful or speak in an unpleasant tone. That itself will help us from creating a scene, and then there's no reason to apologize. And also, the moment you we realize, this is my experience, what I see with my spouse and family around, some reason you raise your voice, you're screaming, you're shouting, the moment you're aware, calm down and make amends. Mama, I was sorry, I just spoke to you, I was just irritated, but da da da. That's it. Don't wait and feel shy and embarrassed and say, no, I cannot. You made the blunder, apologize at that moment. Don't wait for 3 minutes, 3 hours, or, blah, 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 or 3 days. Why? The person is there now. What will happen in the next 3 days? We don't know. Why wait? So I would request you all in your own ways, if you're able to, learn these few points and put into practice, you will feel better and lighter of yourself. And also, the person to who you may have hurt will also feel very privileged and happy to help you in your journey to become a better and a more evolved person than what you used to be. Any questions would you like to ask or share something? Neena ji, Anu ji, anybody? Okay.
Rita, can you put those 4 points in your WhatsApp in a beam meditation group?
Certainly, ma'am. Certainly. Not
Okay.
four, there are five of them. There are five
Fine.
of them.
Yeah.
I,
Please
I, I
do.
shall do that immediately after our Zoom session is
Okay.
ended.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I
Hello,
think we
ma'am.
are all on
It's
the
Neena
same
here.
page, and we are all growing better and better and better as people. And at the end of the day, it's all about getting better and um, feeling better of yourself. Yes, Neena ji, you have a query?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
It's
hello.
a wonderful session, and it means so much to me. I learned so much new, very much like a powerful knowledge, Now, like I felt sometimes I did also not willingly sorry, but just said for the sake of saying. But my question is, we have done a lot of harm to ourselves also. How to apologize ourselves, you know? Please share some wisdom on that part.
Certainly, it is my pleasure, and it's a wonderful question, Neena ji. It's very deep. So the fact is, we may know to apologize to the whole wide world, our mom, our spouse, blah, 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 neighbors. How do we apologize to ourselves? There is something known as the inner child and the higher self. So,
Correct.
for whatever reason, we have been what we are because we didn't know better. Say in my childhood, I may have robbed a chocolate or a clip. And say at the age of 37, I still feel bad and extremely guilty that, God, I was 7 years old, I robbed a clip. How could I do that? Shame on me, shame on me. That is not what you are. That is your past when you didn't know better. And for whatever reason that has happened, do you think it's wise to torment yourself? Are you lifting yourself high up or you're further falling down? Forgive yourself because you didn't know the difference between right and wrong. When we know better, we do better, right, Neena ji? If you attended the other session that I have emphasized, leave the past behind because we didn't know. And now when we know, will we do that? Tomorrow I find a band on the road. Will I pick it up? No, I don't want to. Making sense to
Yes.
you, Neena ji?
Yes, yes. Actually, now I have another question. I'm sorry.
No,
So,
no, tell me.
yeah, like for example, I put on so much weight due to whatever reasons, like I get food cravings and I cannot stop myself. Then after that, I repent. Why did I eat that? So what is, I apologize myself, but that's not helping. I was thinking like why I'm doing, is it because of I don't have a strong willpower? You know, what could be the reason that I can't stop myself? I'm harming myself actually. I cannot hear you. Sorry.
Muted myself. Yeah. You're harming yourself. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, we have power and control only over ourselves. What we talk, walk, dress, behave, drink, or what we eat, the lovely donuts, the chocolate, the halwa, it's all within ourselves and our decision.
Right.
So if you want to make changes, you make it. And you know the repercussions of the changes you are going to make.
That is the issue with me. Like
Yes.
if it is out of sight, out of mind. But when it's in front of me, uh,
No, the joy is in seeing it and saying, I'll have a taste of it. I'll taste it. I'll satisfy my hunger and that longing that I have, but I want to make a meal of it.
mm,
I love myself. I know I am, ruining my health. And with all this halwa and the shira, etc., that I'm having, I could have cholesterol issues. I could have blah, blah, blah. So, based on it, do I want to continue with that or not? I make the decision.
mm,
You will receive the answer deep within yourself, Neena ji. And
thank
if you're
you.
feeling
Thank you.
guilty and shame are negative emotions. Don't bring it into you, for heaven's sake. Sincere request.
Mm, thank you.
Did I answer your
Thank you so
question or
much.
you have any other query or
No,
something? I'm happy to take it forward. Bring it on. Bring it on.
no, it's uh,
All right.
I understand. Yes, I feel guilt.
Yeah,
I feel
I
ashamed.
like you to notice down or, just put this
Yes.
into your mind forever and ever. I have power and control only over myself, my thoughts,
Mm,
feelings, emotions, my dress, my behavior, my speech, everything. I have power. Maybe we have
mm,
not used it. Start using
yeah.
it, Neena ji. And then you'll feel so good
Yes.
of yourself that, Baba,
Thank you.
I saw that chocolate truffle. I had the whole thing yesterday. After 10 days, I see I'll have half of it. I am pleasing myself because I know the repercussions of having the whole truffle is not really good. ठीक है?
Right.
Hi, Anuji.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Shoot.
Thank you so much.
Shoot.
Yeah, hi Rita ma'am. It's a
Hello.
wonderful topic and very, very deep, definitely. So, yeah, my question is like, yeah, when we go through a conflicting situation, yes, during that time, like I tend to apologize and say, I'm sorry, okay, I've done this mistake and I shouldn't have done that. In the heat of the moment, I might have been rude and
Yeah.
said some negative things about it. But then, like, when the other person probably knows about it, but then doesn't really apologize, should we just not expect it? Like, as we say that we should do not expect. So when our inner child, or when I feel that okay, I might also, I mean, that person has also said some rude things or something which has hurt me. Should I be expecting an apology from the other person, or should I just leave it and say that I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done this, and I'm making amends? So from the other side, should I also expect, or should I just do my work and leave the rest to the universe?
So the thing is, we have power only over ourselves. I was angry at my mom, or for whatever reason, I spoke in a raised tone. I know I have done wrong. It is upon me to apologize and change my whole behavior. And as soon as I realized that I raised my tone, like, Mom, you know what, I was so mad, I just raised my voice, but you know what I mean. And if it is coming from your heart, you'll feel very pure of yourself. How the opposite person takes it, it is not upon you. Now, one of those points I said, how can I make it up to you? Now, say a friend of yours has, you have apologized and you're asking your friend, how can I make it up to you? The friend doesn't want to answer and assist you and partner with you to make things better. We can't do more than that. We
Mhm.
can't expect because we don't know what is their state of mind. I'd
Mhm.
like you, Anuji, to make a note of this, is that all of us, or rather, every one of us, behave as per our state of mind. Likewise, your neighbor, your friend, your teacher, your spouse behaves as per their state of mind. To each his own. So just because I have apologized doesn't mean the opposite person will say, okay, bring me a Cadbury or bring me an ice cream or just take me to a park. I'm okay. They may be silent. Respect it. But from your side, you do your cleansing and your, change of behavior. And at the end of the day, I always say that bless the person. Bless the person with goodness, happiness, peace of mind,
Mm.
good health, prosperity, money, finance. Just bless the person in your mind. You don't have to go and put a cross or doing something, nothing like that in your
Mm.
mind. I bless you, Anu, and I would like to apologize for the times I've been really rude and I spoke out of tone and I was
Mm.
really crazy. I apologize. I really feel bad about it. I'd like to make
Mhm.
it up to you, and I seek your forgiveness, and I
Mm.
really would like to. You are really dear and precious to me, and I hope we can, forget about this and move on.
Mm.
Making sense, Anuji? Any queries
Yeah.
or something else that you would like
Yeah.
to ask with as well?
Yeah.
Happy.
So as you mentioned, Ritaman, that we have power only on ourselves. So we
Correct.
should make amends, say, apologize,
Right.
and ask for forgiveness, and that's it. And let the other person, like, I mean, as per their state of mind, they will come back and
Yes.
respond.
And even if
And
they
even
don't come
even
back, we
yeah.
don't we don't become angry and become
Mm.
anxious and become very
Mm.
impatient.
Mm.
Array, my mummy has not responded, my spouse has not responded. Let them be. There's
Mm.
also another theory. I love your question, Anu. There is something known as a leaking bucket theory, where
Mm.
some people, for whatever may be going in their personal lives, they may not really advertise and tell us, may not
Mm.
be in the right state of mind, definitely. So, what we're saying also, they are not able to acknowledge and absorb.
Mm.
So do not necessarily 10 times say sorry, 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 sorry. No. Once, twice, a meaningful, leave it there. And
Mm.
if they want to reach out to you in their own time, they will reach out to you.
Mm.
Okay?
Mm. Okay.
Something else, Neenanji, I can see your hand up. Oh, that's clear.
Uh, Just one more thing, Rita ma'am, that it might be a little not about the apologetic thing, but during a conflicted situation, like we are supposed to respond, not react. Like listen to the situation and absorb it or understand it, respond to it, but not react. But at
Yes.
times, like it happens that we react and we do not. We react in the heat of the moment because of human nature, instead of responding, we tend to react, and it might get rude or it might not be a pleasant situation. And at times, like when I feel like I should respond, there is a little bit of anxiousness or something that okay, that person is not saying correct, and it's like coming and hitting me, and I should correct him or her. So at times that responsiveness or the response which goes out might go as a reaction because of the inner anxiousness or inner conflict situation which is going on inside. So how to deal with that? Like, should we just let it go, make peace with ourselves, and then come back and respond, or like how to react to that situation, respond to that situation?
I
Because
would
there's an inner anxiousness going on that okay, this has to be set right because that is not correct. So how do we react to that or respond to that situation?
I've always recommended is we avoid reacting, because reacting is without thinking and responsiveness is with thinking. So whatever may be asked to you, if you're not sure what to say and comment, be silent and think, take a deep breath or take 5 deep breaths. And then, respond and say, and ask yourself, do I need to respond? And can I respond later? Especially when you're filled with some terrible, not so pleasant feeling and emotion, maintain silence. And when you are in a happy state and a more calm and stable state, you can reach out to the person and start a conversation all over again. In that way, you have power, and also you know what you're saying, and there's no reason to regret, and definitely you're not speaking out of tone where you need to apologize.
Hmm.
Like one thing is there, many of us from our childhood, we have learned tit for tat, including me in the past, not anymore, or we're all growing and learning. We do not need to necessarily speak up, respond there and there. No, in my own time, we've heard the statement in my own time, as per my convenience, when I am in a happy state, when I have processed what I want to say, I can reach out to the person and say, Anu, that day, when we had gone to the garden and that statement that you said, it really hurt me. Blah, blah, blah. And no one, and that's your choice of what you felt based on what was said to you. Yeah. Does it make sense to you, Anu?
Yeah. And even
Yeah.
if that person doesn't even understand or like say that no, whatever I have said is correct or that was right, then we just make our comment and then let it be, right? Just forgive and forget.
You do not forgive, you do not forget, because I come back to the simple old theory which I spoke a few minutes back in my previous speaks, that each one behaves as per their state of mind. If their mind is saying that I do not need to hear Anu's dialogue and her
Mm,
statements, theek hai.
mm,
To each his own. I mean, just because you say good morning to me, Anu, I need not necessarily have to say Anu to you, good morning, dear Anu. Maybe
mm,
I'm depressed. Maybe my dog
mm,
died. Maybe mommy's not
mm,
well, so I'm like in my own head, stressed about it.
mm,
And then you say, oh, Rita ma'am saw me at the station and she didn't say hello. Why?
mm,
Let them be. The least
mm,
we can do is bless them. I think Rita was not very happy and her chirpy state today. I bless
mm,
her with happiness and lots of love. And and stability in her mind. Bas khatam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
All right. That's it from all of you. So wonderful to talk with all of you. And next time I'd love to see more faces. So like it's more, it's a joyful feeling to see face to face. But yeah. All right. Something else advice, or we can wind up then. Thank you, Madhuji, for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Rita ji, for being here and for informing us about this wonderful concept of apology, which is very, very important. Thank you once again. And beautiful sharings as well, beautiful questions. And it's very important that once we share, things open up and there's a lot of learning happens. So thank you so much, Rita ji. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.